As the 2024 presidential election draws nearer, the latest forecasts from Polymarket reveal a striking shift in momentum toward Donald Trump, positioning him ahead of Kamala Harris with only 26 days left until election. Trump currently boasts a 55.4% probability of winning, a notable increase that reflects recent shifts in key battleground states. In this video, we'll analyze the current landscape of the electoral map based on these updated projections and explore the implications for both candidates as they enter this crucial final phase of their campaign. To begin with, let's examine the West Coast, where Kamala Harris appears to maintain a solid hold on traditionally Democratic states like Washington, Oregon, and California. Each of these states is projected to vote overwhelmingly blue, with Harris enjoying an impressive 95% chance of winning them. California, with its substantial 54 electoral votes, is particularly critical for any Democratic candidate. Historically, California has been a Democratic stronghold, making it a key asset for Harris as she looks to build her elect. While Harris can count on these states, she must also secure victories in more competitive regions if she hopes to reach the necessary 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. In contrast, the dynamics shift dramatically in Nevada, a state that is becoming increasingly competitive. Despite Joe Biden's victory in 2020 by over 2 percentage points, the latest betting odds suggest that the race in Nevada is essentially a toss-up. Polymarket shows Harris with a slight edge at 52-2 compared to Trump's 49. This razor-thin margin indicates that Nevada, often seen as a pivotal swing state, is up for grabs. Losing this state could deal a significant blow to Harris's campaign, particularly given its importance as a battleground. As both candidates focus on Nevada, it will be fascinating to see how the strategies unfold in the final weeks leading up to the election. Shifting our attention to Arizona, we observe a dramatic transformation in this state, which was once viewed as a battleground that Biden narrowly won in the previous election. Today, Polymarket indicates a substantial lead for Trump with a 66% chance of victory in Arizona. This represents a significant turnaround, particularly since Harris has struggled to gain traction in the state. Polling data reveals that she has never been the favorite among voters there, which raises questions about her appeal and strategy. Trump's resurgence in Arizona is indicative of broader national trends and serves as a reminder of the volatility inherent in political races. Given that Arizona holds 11 electoral votes, its outcome will play a crucial role in determining the overall election results. Next, we turn our attention to Colorado and New Mexico, both states where Harris appears to be on more stable ground. Polymarket gives her a commanding 97% chance of winning in Colorado and a 90% likelihood in New Mexico. Both states have leaned Democratic in recent elections, and Harris's nomination seems to have bolstered support in these areas. Nevertheless, the challenge remains. While she may be expected to win these states, they do not provide the kind of competitive edge necessary for a national victory. Colorado and New Mexico can certainly contribute to her overall electoral count, but they cannot make up for potential losses in battleground states like Arizona and Nevada. Now let's discuss Texas, a state that continues to be a Republican bastion. Trump is projected to have a staggering 90% chance of winning Texas, solidifying its status as a likely Republican state. This high probability reflects the historical trends in Texas, which has consistently voted Republican in recent elections. Despite Democratic efforts to shift the state toward a more competitive landscape, the reality is that Trump's support remains robust, making it unlikely for Harris to make significant inroads here. Texas's 38 electoral votes are critical for any candidate, and Trump's ability to retain them gives him a considerable advantage as he builds his electoral strategy. Transitioning to the Midwest, we find that the Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, are shaping up to be pivotal battlegrounds for both candidates. These states were essential to Biden's victory in 2020, and they remain critical for Harris if she hopes to replicate that success. However, the latest Polymarket data shows Trump gaining momentum across these key states, signaling potential challenges for Harris's campaign. Starting with Wisconsin, we see a notable change in the betting markets. For the first time since early August, Trump is leading in Wisconsin, with Polymarket giving him a 52% chance of winning. This marks a significant shift from earlier projections that favored Harris. Current polling indicates a tightly contested race, with Harris maintaining a narrow lead of only 0.4. However, the fact that Trump has regained the lead suggests that Wisconsin could be on the verge of flipping in his favor. With a history of being a bellwether state, Wisconsin's electoral votes will be crucial for both campaigns as they vie for victory. Next, we look at Michigan, a state that has long been viewed as a Democratic stronghold. Biden won Michigan by 2.8 in 2020, but the tides are turning, with Polymarket now showing Trump with a 52% chance of victory. This is particularly concerning for Harris, as losing Michigan would have severe ramifications for her campaign. The latest polls indicate Trump has taken a slight lead, demonstrating the challenges Harris faces in securing votes in a state that has historically favored Democrats. The implications of this shift could be significant, especially considering the state's importance in the overall electoral map. Pennsylvania, often regarded as the most critical state in any presidential election, is also showing signs of favoring Trump. Polymarket indicates that Trump has a commanding 56% chance of winning the Keystone. Given its 19 electoral votes, Pennsylvania is a must-win for both candidates. Trump's resurgence in the state is evident in polling data, where he holds a slight lead over Harris. The historical significance of Pennsylvania cannot be understated. Whoever wins this state is likely to emerge victorious in the election overall, given the past trends, such as Hillary Clinton leading by 99.4 at this point in 2016, before ultimately losing. It's clear that Pennsylvania remains a hotbed of uncertainty, and as we move to the lower Midwest, we find that states like Iowa and Ohio are trending Republican. Polymarket gives Trump a 93% chance of winning in Iowa and a 92% chance in Ohio. Both states have solidified their status as likely Republican, highlighting the difficulties Harris may face in expanding her support in these regions. In contrast, Indiana is projected to remain solidly red, while Illinois is expected to continue its support for Democrats, standing strong with its solid blue designation. Heading to the Northeast, it becomes evident that most states will lean heavily in favor of Harris. States like New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and the District of Columbia are projected to vote solidly blue. New Hampshire, however, is classified as likely blue, with Harris holding an 87% chance of winning. Maine also trends blue, with a likelihood of 88%. While Harris can count on these states, they will not be enough to secure victory without solid performances in competitive battlegrounds. Finally, let's examine the South, where Trump is poised to dominate. States like Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and South Carolina are expected to go solidly. However, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida present more competitive landscapes. In Virginia, Harris has an 89% chance of winning, although the state did experience close polling at times. North Carolina, however, trends Republican, with Trump holding a 62% chance of winning. This state has historically favored Republicans, making it a crucial battleground. Trump's continued lead in North Carolina, combined with his growing momentum in Georgia, where he has a 64% chance, suggests a Republican stronghold in the making. Finally, we arrive at Florida, a state that is off against Donald Trump. Currently, the electoral map suggests Trump is set to secure 306 electoral votes compared to Harris's projected 232. Over the past few months, there have been moments where Harris appeared to gain ground. But as we approach Election Day, the momentum seems to be clearly in Trump's favor. With recent flips in states like Wisconsin and Michigan, Harris's path to victory is becoming increasingly difficult. Many Democrats are expressing regret over the decision to replace Biden with Harris as their nominee, as she grapples with the realities of a rapidly changing electoral landscape. As we move closer to the election, it will be critical for both candidates to address their vulnerabilities and solidify their bases of support. With such a volatile political environment, anything can happen in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for further updates and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis and coverage of the unfolding political landscape.